Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. There were two artists that got a lot of backlash on Twitter, one of them being Lana Del Rey and another one being Doja Cat, and I'm gonna break down that whole story, but I first want to start off with Lana Del Rey. Lana Del Rey is an emo pop singer who went on this rant on Instagram, and she mentioned several female artists in her rant, which did cause her to receive a lot of backlash from their fan bases. This is what she said. Question for the culture. Now that Doja Cat, Ariana, Camila, Cardi B, Kehlani, and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce have had their #1 songs about being sexy, wearing no clothes, effing, cheating, etc., can I please go back to singing about being embodied, feeling beautiful by being in love, even if the relationship is not perfect, aka toxic, or dancing for money or whatever I want, without being crucified or saying that I'm glamorizing abuse? In this long rant, Lana went on to complain about how there's no space in feminism for women who look and act like her, and she also complained about getting criticized for her lyrical content. But a lot of people were upset with Lana because they felt like she was shading Beyonce and Nicki and Ariana and some of the other women that she mentioned, and she was trying to make this weird correlation between them getting #1 hits and her being criticized by music critics and feminists. And also, a lot of people noticed that most of the women she pointed out were women of color. Besides Ariana and Camila, she didn't mention any of her other white peers like Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Lady Gaga, etc. So this was an issue to a lot of fans. And I will say this, I do think Lana only called out these women because she was triggered when she saw that Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, and Megan Thee Stallion occupied the top 2 spots on Billboard, and also she was triggered when she saw that Kehlani's latest album debuted at #2 on Billboard 200. Not to mention, she was upset when she saw Ariana Grande snag her third #1 hit. So to me, it sounds like she's bitter that these women are charting, and she kind of threw shade at them by saying they only got #1s by talking about being sexy and sleeping around and cheating, etc. So she was trying to diminish their accomplishments while turning around and complaining about how she gets all of the criticism for her lyrical content. And honestly, I think that was unnecessary. She didn't have to mention these artists just to get her point across, and she didn't have to say that they only got #1 hits for singing about being sexy and wearing no clothes. I thought that was very shady because if you actually listen to their music, you would know that that's not all they talk about. But see, Lana tried to throw shade at them because she's mad that they're winning on the charts, and she's not. And let's be real, Lana is not the only one who has been criticized for her lyrics. All of the women she mentioned have been criticized. Beyonce has gotten more criticism than Lana has ever gotten in her entire career. Don't y'all remember when Beyonce performed her song Formation at the Super Bowl? She was accused of inciting violence and resisting the police. And also, she got backlash for some of the songs on her Lemonade album. She made songs about her cheating husband, and she chose to stay with him, and some people thought that was a poor message to send to women. Beyonce has also been criticized for being open with her sexuality, and Nicki Minaj got backlash for the same thing, especially when she dropped her song Anaconda. Anaconda was a controversial record, and the video even got banned in some countries. Also, Doja Cat and Cardi B have been criticized for their explicit lyrics. Kehlani and Ariana have been criticized for speaking about their relationships in their music. We've seen Kehlani get backlash over Party Next Door, and we've seen the backlash that Ariana got over Pete Davidson and Mac Miller. So Lana is not the only woman in the music industry who has been criticized for her lyrics, and I think her complaints don't sit well with some people because Lana has literally gotten more support and benefits in the music industry than some of the women she mentioned. So she's overlooking her own privilege and being salty about other women getting shine on the charts. She honestly just sounds pressed to me. Now, Doja Cat did actually comment under Lana Del Rey's post, and she said, "Gang, sunk that dunker." Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but I guess she was telling her fans to drag Lana. I don't know what that means. If anybody knows, please tell me down below. But Doja Cat made this comment, but little did she know she would be the next target on Twitter. She was exposed for frequenting this chat room called Tiny Chat, and some people say that Doja Cat goes into certain chat rooms and interacts with alt-right groups. And I don't know how true that is, but that's what some people are saying. So there's a video circulating on the internet of Doja Cat interacting with these guys, and she was being crude and saying things for shock value. If you know Doja Cat, she has a very weird sense of humor, so she trolls people and she says things to get a reaction out of them. But if you actually watch her interaction with some of these guys on Tiny Chat, it's kind of weird and cringy because she's being very thirsty and kind of putting herself out there in a way that's very degrading.
Would you feed a tube into my ass with a funnel at the end and pour all types of liquor down there?
True.
Yes, pull your shirt up, you loose lady.
It's pulled up enough, relax. I'm pulling it down for fashion.
Yes, my lady.
Fashion.
Speaking of desensitized gag reflexes, my loose lady of the night, Doja.
Her shirt reminds me of a baby duck. Her shirt is like a...
Oh my god.
of a baby duck. Her shirt is like a...
Oh my god. I'm sorry, my lady Dallas. What does her shirt remind you of?
So y'all saw that. That was really weird to watch. And I knew Doja was weird, but I didn't know she was that weird. That was very strange to watch. And Doja Cat needs to be really careful now that she's famous, because she can't be just going into chat rooms and saying whatever for shock value, because it doesn't look good for her brand, and it actually speaks on how low her self-esteem is. She's doing all this extra stuff and stripping off her clothes and saying the N-word in front of a group of white people, and some of them are laughing at her, and it's just shameful. And sadly, this wasn't the worst of what people dug up on her. Doja Cat actually did a song back in the day on SoundCloud called Didn't Do Nothing. Didn't do nothing is a slang that alt-right groups use to mock black people, and it was used to degrade the victims who died from police brutality. So the fact that Doja was using this term as a title of one of her songs is very alarming, and it kind of exposes some of Doja's self-hating tendencies. Now, if you don't know, Doja is half black, half white. However, she seems to identify more with her white side, and that's not abnormal because she did grow up in a white environment and she was raised by her white mother. Her father pretty much abandoned her when she was a child, so even though she's biracial, she identifies with her white side, and nothing is wrong with that. However, something is very wrong with the fact that she feels comfortable enough to say the N-word around white people and also use derogatory terms like didn't do nothing. And people actually went in on Doja on Twitter, and I'm gonna post some of the tweets that I saw.
Woo! The spirit of nigga is all over this place.
This is the new era of racism. I need that racism. I like it. I like it. If that's racist, let me get more of that. Facts.
Listen, stop. I'm gonna f you. Listen, stop. I'm gonna f you.
I identify with the Ku Klux Klan because the way they believe is just so smart. White is right. White power.
Negro, please. Didn't somebody tell you this was an all-white party? Huh? Someone get this jigaboo away from...
Just know that I'm white. I mean, she might not know that I'm white, but I know that I'm white. I can feel it through my veins. I feel it through my blood.
Let's go.
Methinks not. Methinks not. Methinks not.
Oh, go shuck and jive, shuck and jive, I'm gon' shuck and jive, shuck and jive, I'm gon' get on down and tap dance, I'm gon' shuck and...
You hang out with niggas, huh?
Someone named CEO of Racism just added me as a friend? What is wrong with them? What is wrong with you people?
Wow.
So those are some of the tweets that people posted about Doja and her behavior, and it's all disturbing and disappointing to me as a fan because I really like Doja's music and I do think she's a good artist, but I can't support her after this. I'm sorry. I'd rather give my support to other unproblematic black women instead, and that doesn't mean I'm throwing away Doja Cat like she's trash, but I think her behavior is very problematic and she really needs some therapy because she clearly has some deep issues within her. And that's one of the reasons why she's acting out the way she is. But does this whole situation mean that Doja Cat will be officially canceled? No, I don't think so. I think Doja Cat has a fan base that will support her regardless. And also, she's not the only person who has said and done problematic things. So she definitely will get a pass. However, I don't think she will have the same support from black people after this. And I think she needs to at least release a statement and address everything that came out because she has a lot of cleaning up to do. But anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.